2004 on an 04 Bentley Continental GT. As you can see, finished in that lovely greeny grey colour with a very nice contrasting interior, which we'll get to in a minute. Nice spec this thing as well. Standard clear glass, standard wheels, hasn't been messed with, hasn't got ridiculous limo tint on it or any weird things on the lights or anything like that. Nice, clean, standard car, which actually I think nowadays is starting to look like a really, really good car for the money. 6 litre W12 twin turbo engine. Really, really a lot of car for the money, isn't it? Start by having a look at the bodywork. If we start on this driver's side and look all the way down, you can see the body lines are nice and sharp. It's not full of ripples or filler or anything like that. Starting on this front wing, nice and tidy on the front wing. There's no real marks to note on there. Lovely and clean around the arch. There's not even any stone chips down the bottom where they normally are. It's on the 19-inch 5-spoke staggered wheels. Nice condition. A little bit of curb mark around there. Other than that, all good. Continuing down this side onto the driver's door, there's no real marks to note on the door. If we're being really picky, there's one tiny little scratch just there, but it is really, really minor. Lovely and clean all the way along that sill there. All the way down, no sign of any real marks there at all. Round the indicator, sorry, round the wing mirror, all nice and tidy. I did notice it's missing the lens from that indicator, which we've had quite a few of these GT through. This is really common. It seems to be a plastic lens that sits over the top and they seem to just flop off for some reason. So yeah, that is missing, but like I said, it is quite common. Nice and tidy coming up that A-pillar. No sign of any stone chips there. All good. Around the top of the windscreen, there's no sort of stone chips or corrosion coming through. The roof itself is lovely and smooth all the way back. Now again, on the GTs, you can get a bit of delamination in the glass in this area and down the bottom, but as you can see on these ones, lovely and clean all the way around. Rear quarter, nice and tidy. We've got one tiny little stone chip just there, another one there that's been touched in at some point. Bottom end of the arch, again, lovely and clean all the way around. Normally what happens is you get some stone chips and causes a bit of bubbling in the paint, but that one's all good. Nice and clean on that rear wheel. So have another look up this side of the car from here, nice and tidy. And then coming around on the back, both rear tail lights are bright and clean. Exhausts are sitting nice and straight. Bottom half of that bumper, all nice and tidy. We've got a very tiny little scuff just there. Does have parking sensors on the back, this one. Other than that, the back end, lovely and tidy. You do have the electric lift-up spoiler as well, which we'll show you in a second. Coming around on the passenger side, again, lovely and straight all the way down. Body line's nice and crisp. Rear arch, lovely and sharp. Has a very, very light scuff just there. Does look like the majority of it would polish out, to be fair. Another good wheel and tyre. Glass on this side, no delamination, nice and clean all the way around. And again, it's normally this area where it starts to fail, all good. You can see what I mean on that wing mirror. This one has the lens on, but you'll see what I mean from the other side. No sign of any stone chips up the A-pillar. One very, very minor one just there in the middle of the roof, but it does look like it will polish out, to be fair. Lovely and clean on the rest of the roof. The glass on this side, all clear. Right, going along the sill on this side, again, nice and straight. Door is all good. We've got a very minor little parking scratch just there. It is coming up on a 20-year-old car now, so I think that's fair enough. Nice and clean around that front arch. And there's a very faint little scratch there that's been touched in at some point as well. Another good wheel and tyre. Round out the front, headlights are nice and clear all the way around. All the chrome work on the grille is good. Lower half of the bumper has some stone chips on there. Not a huge amount, but there is some there, as you can see. Grille shell is nice and clean for stone chips, and the bonnet itself is lovely and straight. It's been parked here for a little while. It's not dropping any fluid or anything on the floor. Moving on to the interior. And before we go any further, I will point out, it is telling you on the dash that the boot's open. So it thinks that it's open, which is why we actually can't get into it. It won't release the boot on the switch, and it won't release the boot on the key. There is a manual release behind the seat, so at some point we'll get that pulled and get a look in there and put a picture on. But it is pointless. So it's not releasing the boot because it thinks it's open. So it needs that micro switch on the boot that lets it know it's closed. So interior wise, we've got this two-tone, light, cream, dark green, almost body color. Really, really nice combo with the lighter wood. Door card, lovely and clean. Door shut is all nice and tidy as well. The seat has a little bit of wear on the bolster there. But other than that, very, very good. It actually looks far dirtier in the video than it does in person. It's just sort of the colour and the light, really. Carpet set all nice and clean. darker green. Steering wheel to match the top of the door cards, and the dash in lovely condition. Nice all the way along. That wood's really, really nice in that spec. All the usual Bentley stuff: heated seats, adjustable suspension, electric spoiler, comfort mode, sat nav, all the stuff you'd expect from a big Bentley. Mileage wise, we're on 68,331. You'll see there it's showing you the boot's open when it isn't. Obviously it's showing you it's open there. It's definitely not open. Moving into the back, and again on these GTs you find that these things don't really get used a lot. So the condition in there is nice and tidy. All of the trim pieces in the centre are all still there. Quite often they can go missing. Backs of the seats are good. It has the usual GT issue of the headlining is in 2 panels with a centre section. The 2 panels always come a little bit loose, so they're not ripped or torn. You just want a good upholsterer that can put them back for you using the original materials. Quite an easy job nowadays, but it is very common on a GT. If you've been looking at these, you'll have seen a few that have done that. Obviously we'll skip the boot, we will put a picture on when we get in there. Passenger side, again, nice and tidy on the door card. No marks to note on that door shut. Passenger seat, lovely condition all the way across, as is the carpets and the dash on this side. Really, really nice. We'll pop the bonnet while we're there. And then on the bonnet, you pull it up to get that B up, pull the B, that's how you get in. 6 litre twin turbo W12 engine, loads of torque, really, really nice engine to drive. Lovely and clean in here, no sign of any aftermarket modifications or anything like that. Like I say, no fluid dropping on the floor. This one's driven to us all the way from North Yorkshire. It's done about an hour and a half in the car to get here. Get it fired up. We'll go straight around the back. Nothing nasty coming out of the exhaust, just a nice rumble of that W12. And lovely and smooth as you'd expect round the front. Like I say, it was driven here, which is always a good sign. It started straight up once it was hot. We've let it go cold for the video. Again, started straight up. So there you have it, 2004 on an 04 Continental GT. If you've got any more questions, please get in touch. Thank you.